G'day everyone, it's Buck up in a pretty warm far north Queensland. Blue sky, you beauty. Boy oh boy, we've had some wet weather up here. I heard on the news yesterday, March 2025 is the wettest March in North Queensland for over 100 years, and that's saying something. It's always wet up here, but I tell you what, a lot of places, just for March, I've had well over a metre of rain. We don't measure it in mils up here, measure it in metres. What am I doing in the shed again? Righto, it's Sunday afternoon. Weather is beautiful, even though it's a bit warm. And I'm going to be cooking over fire, guys. I'm going to do a couple of roasts on the rotisserie this afternoon, a roast pork and a roast lamb. Just been to Coles, did a live feed this morning. Really enjoyed the Sunday morning live feeds. Had about 140 on at one stage. Absolutely fantastic. Righto, so the review today is on Ol Mate Firepit. And where's it from? Top End Campgear, guys. Greg Inwood at Top End Campgear. How'd I meet Greg? Last year at the Perth 4-wheel drive show, guys. I was walking around, minding my own business, and I came across a fire pit, and over it, they had a leg of lamb on a rotisserie. And they'd only just put it on, only been on there about half an hour. And I said, I'll be back in a couple of hours when that's cooked. Looked bloody good. Anyway, I got talking to Greg there, and Greg owns Smart Tech 6, the hot water systems and that, and he's branched off into camp gear and that now. Top End Campgear. I got talking to Greg and he said, Buck, I want to send you over a barbecue plate. Anyway, I got home from the Perth 4-wheel drive show back to Queensland. I ended up buying my own barbecue plate. A couple of days after, this turns up. I wasn't expecting it. Greg sent me one of his fire pits as well, and I sent him a message and said, mate, this was just at the start of summer. I said, mate, I'll review this when it starts cooling down a bit. So it's been too hot up here to have fires, but I'm going to have one this afternoon to do the roast up. This one here from Top End Campgear is called the Ol Mate Firepit. And I saw it in action over at the Perth 4-wheel drive show. And as I said, Greg sent me this for nothing, everyone. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't ask for it. Greg just sent it to me. So I'm going to do a review. You're probably thinking, Buck, how many fire pits do you need? Well, I'm like Steve Fuller, guys. I love collecting shit. I love collecting stuff, especially when it comes to cooking and camping. And I've got another fire pit. And here it is here. Going to open it up. It's called the Ol Mate Firepit. And I forgot the price of it. I think it delivered was $2.99. Don't quote me on that. Where's it made? Overseas in China, guys. Once again, Greg said, would love to have done Aussie made. How do you do it? And try to stay in business these days. So anyway, we're going to open it up. The first thing I see is another set of gloves. Really good heat-proof gloves there, like your big welder's gloves. So there's a set of gloves in there. And that $2.99 is delivered, everyone. How much does this weigh? 17 kilos or something I saw. I'll see if I can, I'll put all the stats of the fire pit up at the end, guys. Dimensions, weights, all that type of stuff. Now listen, any sort of fire pit is going to have some weight about it, isn't it? It really is. This one here, it's got a bit of weight. We're all worried about our weight. This is certainly, you can take this camping with you, no worries at all. This will probably be my go-to home fire pit there. I've got a bit one that's a bit lighter, folds out in one piece type thing, the Snow Peak fire pit. That'll probably be my camping fire pit, guys, but for around the backyard, if you want to have a cook up with the family and that, yeah, but that's certainly still within striking distance to take camping. So it's all bloody thingamajig. It's all wrapped up in plastic. I should have known. So what I'll do, rather than waste time, is I'm going to get this out of the plastic, everyone, and then I'll come back and we'll show you what's in it, and then we'll show you how to put it together. Hey everyone, it comes wrapped up in plastic, and it's got a real sticky stuff on it to prevent rusting and that, okay, because it's mild steel. So I don't know if this is the done thing, but I'm just going to hit everything with a bit of degreaser and then hose it off, eh? Righto, I'm back. And I'm bloody sweating. Big time. So, let's show you now what the kit comes with. What I did there is took it out of the plastic, everyone. It comes with a real sticky sort of oil on it to protect it from rust and that while it's in transit. So I just laid everything down, hit it with some degreaser. It's still a little bit sticky, but that'll burn off. But I got most of the real sticky stuff off. So Greg always thinks outside the box, guys, and goes that little bit further. So your $299 for this fire pit, that includes delivery. Can you imagine what it cost? That's got to be $50 through Australia Post to post that. Like, postage isn't cheap here, so take that into consideration. Take, say, $50 off, you're down to $250 for the fire pit, which is bloody good value. Good set of leather gloves there, so you don't burn your hands if you need to pick something hot up. So the gloves come with it, and also another good bag, similar to the barbecue plate. A good carry bag, and it's got a shoulder strap because this has got a bit more weight. You'll see the weights at the end. So it all folds flat, goes into a carry bag, and it's got a shoulder strap. So there you go. Now listen, I just had a little practice of this because I didn't want to look like a goose on camera, which I'll probably do anyway. But the first thing I see about this is it's designed so that it's not going to scorch your grass. So the first thing we've got is an ashtray here. That there with the handle on, that's your bottom. Listen, if you're cutting down on weight, maybe you wouldn't need that if you're going out and doing bush camping and you don't have to worry about the ashes falling on the ground. You mightn't even need to take that. That's got a little bit of weight in itself. I think it's all 3mm mild pressed steel, guys. Don't quote me on that. Rightio, so your base plate there. The next 4 pieces you need is the 2 small and 2 large, and they've got the flat bottom on them. They're the feet, okay? So we set it up inside the ashtray. So we've got one there, and then we get a side piece. It's got an Ol Mate there, and that sits there like that. Then we grab our next end piece, and it just slides together like a Meccano set. I was always shit at Meccano sets. I can make a simple job look hard, let me tell you. Slide that one over, and then slide, if you can, try and get that one over as well. Come on, hold your tongue right, Buck, and you'll get it. There we go. I keep saying that. Hold your tongue right, and if you do, everything just slots in. Don't try and force it. If you do it properly, it slots in. So the next thing we've got is the base of the fire pit. So that's not the base down here. This is the base of the fire pit here, and it's simply, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notches facing upwards, and we just line your notches up with the holes in the thing. You might have to just wriggle it around a little bit, and it just drops in. So there you go. There's the base of the fire pit. Now the next thing we do is slide that in there like that. Get our next side. Go I think you have the, see how it's got Ol Mate top end camping on the thing. They've had it all laser cut out, which is pretty cool. And then what we need to do is that slides up into there, and no, I've done that wrong. This is around the wrong way. That one goes, if you got it the wrong way, you'll know it won't go. So, and then I'll slide that bit over there. In it goes there. I hope you can see that okay. And then this one here, it's designed so if you got it the wrong way, you'll soon work it out like I just did. And yep, over there. And then slide that one in there. Hold your tongue right, and there we go. So I hope you can see that. I might grab the camera off the tripod now. That is your fire pit. Okay, we've still got a bit to go. And with a lot of places now, they're worried about you burning the grass. They go, fire pit's got to be a metre off the ground. I've never seen a fire pit a metre off the ground. That's that high off the ground, guys. It doesn't work like that. But what we've got now is a base plate. And listen, you can even put a couple of bits of 4x2 under that base plate and get it up higher. So you can put some 4x2 under that base plate, which creates another insulation. The air creates insulation. So you could even put that on a couple of bits of 4x2. I might even do that just to give you a bit of an idea. Then you've got that whole gap there to the base of the fire. So you've got all that air insulation there to cool down. And as we know, heat goes upwards, everyone. So there won't be a massive amount of heat underneath there, one would hope, with that gap, and then that'll stop it burning the grass. So before I put the barbecue plate on, yes, it comes with a barbecue plate. I'll give you a look inside. There it is there, the base plate, your 4 feet, and then you've got your fire pit here. And it's not a bad size little fire pit, is it? I hope I can get 2 roasts on that. I'll soon find out. So this is where your fire goes in here. At night time, obviously, you'll be able to see the glow of the top End Campgear logo. And not only is it a fire pit, have a look at that for a grill top, guys. 2/3 plate and a 1/3 thing. So you can put your billy in that on there, okay? You put your billy on there. So, to put this in, a couple of notches there, in they go, and then they just drop in there. So once that gets hot, you'd obviously get a bit of spray oil on there, get it really hot, season it up, put some oil on, give it a good wipe over, and get any more of that residue oil off there. Still a little bit tacky, you'd burn that off okay and season in your plate. The good thing about this is it doesn't take up the whole top. You've still got a gap in the front here where my hand is going to put some wood in, so you can still stoke the fire. There's nothing worse than having a barbecue plate that you can't get any more wood in there. Well, you can with this one, okay, because it's been offset. It doesn't take up the whole pit. You can still drop some firewood or more charcoal down in there. So there's your barbecue plate, everyone. And I'll tell you what, that's got a bit of weight to it, that barbecue plate. So if you weren't going to cook on it, you could leave the barbecue plate at home too to save even more. But at the end of the day, we all have bacon and eggs and that for brekkie, don't we, when we're out camping? So you would take that. As I said, all folds flat into the bag. Absolutely fantastic. I don't need that tonight because what I'm going to do is have a rotisserie, and I've left my 2 rotisserie pieces out there. I'll go and grab them. Righto, so I've hit a bit of a snag, everyone. The fire pit comes with these drop-on things here, which are brackets for your rotisserie for your normal gas mate. So that's there. I've got the battery. It takes 2 D-cell batteries, so I just put that over the brackets. It slides on. This must be off an old rotisserie I had. It's not the original Gasmate one, and it's a bit long. But anyway, I need that to put the 2 roasts on. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is give it a good wipe over with oil. There's a bit of rust on that. But the idea is it goes sideways. If you only got 1 roast, you'd go sideways. Your brackets just drop over like that, everyone. Very quick and easy. Throw that into the rotisserie, that in. This isn't the right one. I don't know where I got this from, and I don't know where my proper Gasmate one. If you're wondering where you get this, it's Gasmate brand, and BCF and Bunnings and that sell them, I think. And they're as cheap as chips. Get the battery operated one. Runs off 2 big D-cell batteries. Turn him on. And that's not ideal there. That's a square piece going around in a thing, but it still goes around all right. It's still turning. And that just turns nice and slow using the 9-volt, the D-cell batteries. So my predicament now, if you just had 1 roast, that's how you'd have it. Put your charcoal or a bit of fire in the bottom and cook it over that. My problem is I've got 2 roasts because I'm greedy. I've got a lamb and a pork. They're not going to fit sideways. That's the normal way you would do it. You can put that up one end as well, okay? You don't have to have it in the middle, you can put it up one end. So what I need to do is, and I'm going to have to improvise, overcome and adapt. Who used to say that? What movie? Gunny Highway. Improvise, overcome and adapt. I'm going to have to somehow, I'll just put that there for now, bring this one down this end. This end's going to sit a bit higher, and it's offset because of the, so I'm going to have to bring this up to get that in, and then the best I can is try and it's not going to work. I might have to do it that way, turn that around. I knew there was a way I could do it somehow. I just tried it. Put him in there, and then that's going to just only just come over there, but it'll still work. And that end's higher than that end. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. I'll just put a bit more fire under this end here. So turn him on. As long as that's spinning, I should be able to make that work. There's my prongs there. I'll give them a good wipe down. I'll give that a good wipe down. So not ideal, guys, but I've got to go lengthways because I've got two roasts. I've got a pork and a lamb. Normally you go sideways for just one, okay, and then it's even then. But I don't know what I've done. I don't know. Greg, if you watch this, mate, what kind of rotisserie goes on these brackets? Because that's the Gasmate one, and I can't see how that'd work. Anyway, it will work. I'm going to make it work. When you got to cook, you got to cook. But that'll work for this afternoon, okay? But just be aware, normally it goes that way. Rightio. It is too hot to start the fire yet. It's about 12:30, middle of the day. I'm going to start cooking about 2:30, everyone. So I'm going to quit for now. Go in, sit in the aircon for an hour or so, cool down, and then come out this afternoon. Going to get the roasts on about 2:30, okay? But there you go. The Ol Mate Firepit. It's not bad, is it? Folds down flat, goes in a bag. They're $2.99 delivered. And that's with the ashtray there. It keeps up off the ground. What I will do is I'll actually put this on the grass this afternoon, and then at the end I can let you know if it does scorch the grass. So a lot of people will ask about that. I'll actually put it on the grass and see if we get a burn mark on the grass, and if it doesn't, then we know. Alright, got the barbecue plate there. I'll tell you what, that barbecue plate's got some weight. It's not a flimsy barbecue plate. 2/3 plate and 1/3 grill, so you can put your billy on. When it cools down, you'll see me doing some cook-ups on these, some nice steaks, sausages, bacon and eggs, one brekkie or something. This is fantastic. I've just got to, I've got to get on the phone to Greg on Monday and just ask about these. I might have the wrong type of rotisserie, and I'll see if I can find out and exactly put in the description exactly what rotisserie fits these brackets. Right, see you this afternoon when we start cooking. Righto, so it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There's rain clouds coming. There's a storm brewing up. Bloody hell. Well, anyway, we'll see how we go. I've got gloves there. If I need to cart it inside, I'm going to have to do that. But anyway, I'll run the gauntlet, everyone. Let's burn this fire in. Get him going. Got some of that jumbuck stuff there for now. I've got a couple of army hexies under there, so burn the fire in. And while the fire's burning, we'll go in, get the meat ready, get it on the skewer. I won't show you how to do that. And then, so going to use a combination of wood in the fire pit today, and also some lump charcoal. I don't know, I reckon the charcoal gives it a good flavour, eh? But anyway, we'll burn her in. I've got some tinder there, got some proper firewood there as well. Bought a bag of firewood this morning from the servo. Got some lump charcoal. I'll use a combination of both. And yeah, unfortunately, my rotisserie isn't matched to this system here, but I'll still make it work. It'll still work. That's fine. It's supposed to go across that way, but I need the distance there because I bought 2 roasts. Anyway, we'll get there. You just got to overcome, improvise, adapt, or whatever that saying is. Righto, I'll keep my eye on this. Burn her in. And the next time you see me is when I'm putting the meat onto the fire, eh? Ooh. So hopefully the meat will go on about 2:30. and I can see the lens of the camera, it looks really dirty. I hope it's not wrecking the film. And yeah, so 3 hours maybe, might be eating about 5:30. Leave a bit of time up your sleeve when you're cooking with fire. Stay flexible is the saying. Rightio, here we go guys, we're under it. Got a roast pork and a roast lamb. Now from memory, the roast pork crackle doesn't get as good on a rotisserie as what you can do in the oven and that, but I've got a trick for that a bit later on. Just going to throw a little bit more tinder on. I've got some charcoal in there. I'm going to use a bit of both. Want it nice and hot at the start, crisp up the outside. I reckon 3 hours this will be eaten, so it's about 2:30, maybe bring it off about 5:30. I must get one of those meters that can go over flame, put it in there, put it into the lamb there, and it can tell you what the internal temperature is. The meter I have is not the one that can go over open flames. The new meter can do that. I must invest in it. So anyway, we've got a roast lamb and a roast pork, and all I do now is hope that that thunderstorm goes around us and doesn't hit. If it does, I'm going to have to get Jamil out here. Starting to get windy too, and we might have to bring that inside the shed using the gloves. Tell you another thing I'm going to do, and I've been gonna do it for years. I'm going to invest in an Oz Spit, guys, the one where you bang the pole in and you can adjust the height, you can adjust it. You don't have to worry about that thing there gets really hot. Okay, this thing here gets really hot. It's got batteries inside it, so I'm a bit worried about the heat there, so I've got to be careful. I'm going to invest in an Oz Spit from Barbecue Rotisserie, I think it is. Anyway, it might be time to get a vodka lime and soda going, I reckon, and sit back and hope that storm doesn't hit. I'll give you a bit of an update halfway through, see how they're cooking. What a great way to cook, eh? It really is. It's already starting to brown up on the thing here, so the little knuckle, I cut that off. Guess who's getting that? Rapper. Yeah, look at it. The fat's starting to crisp up already, those flames. So you don't want your flames too high. You don't want it too low either. You want a nice heat under there, so you've got to keep your eye on it. As it starts dying down, I'll throw some more lump charcoal on. And if I want a bit more heat, I'll just throw a bit more small bits of timber in, just to get that flame going. But you want it nice and hot right at the start. Rightio. Folks, there we go. We're about an hour in. When I first started off, I had a hot spot under the pork. You can see where the crackle started to thing. But anyway, we'll sort that out. Any crackle that's not done at the end, I'll hit it with a flamethrower. Try and get that to crackle up. But anyway, it's an hour in. I reckon a 2.5 hour cook, maybe a 3 hour cook. But we're going there. It's got a nice low even heat now. Just putting some lump charcoal on, not using the fire anymore. I was getting my hot spots there. So anyway, an hour in, maybe hour and a half, 2 to go. And for your information, I just ordered an Oz Spit, guys. I've been going to get one for ages. I just got online and I ordered an Oz Spit. 220 bucks, 45 delivery. Basically bang a peg in and you can adjust the height and everything. Really good. So next rotisserie you see me do will be on the Oz Spit. Looking forward to that. But anyway, in the meantime, this looks like it's cooking up nicely. Righto guys, there we go. Just short of 3 hours, but another 10 minutes it'll be 3 hours. Now listen, rotisseries, I haven't done a lot of rotisserie cooking. You cannot get the crackle. If anyone can get the crackle as good as you can get it in an oven or whatever, doing it over a rotisserie, let me know what the secret is, please. Because bits of it have crackled up, other parts aren't quite crackly enough. Maybe didn't have enough heat there. So a few dark bits there, but that's just on the outside. When you do a rotisserie, the meat's always going to look darker on the outside, but this is going to be cooked inside. The lamb could have been, and that's another trouble when you're cooking 2 roasts at once. I could have taken that lamb off half an hour ago, but the pork, you can't have underdone pork, guys, so you kind of got to leave them both on. That's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. Looks a little bit dark in thing. I don't mind that. I don't mind the crunchy stuff. But anyway, that lamb looks like it's starting to come apart from the bone, so you know that's done. With pork, I'd rather overcook pork than bloody undercook it. You don't want to get crook from it. So the other thing too I've noticed, great little fire pit everyone, but the rotisserie, the trouble with rotisseries is when they're one level, it's really hard to keep your fire at the right heat. Okay, there's times there I was giving Rafa a haircut and the fire went off the boil. I had to stoke it back up again and then it got too hot. What I've done during this cook is I got online and I ordered an Oz spit, guys, which is basically a pole in the ground and the spit that comes out, a battery operated spit, and you can adjust the height. I think that's important when you're doing a rotisserie, is being able to adjust the height. If the fire's too hot, you raise it up a bit. If you start losing a bit of heat, you can lower it down. So you lower it up and down as required. It's easier to do that than trying to keep the fire just right. But anyway, it's all, listen, this is going to be fine inside. I don't eat pork, but that lamb, I'll tell you what, I'll be smashing that. Roz has got a few spuds and some pumpkin and some beans and that going on inside. I'm going to take this off, let it rest, and then we're going to go inside, carve it up. It'll be fine. You don't need to see the taste test, but I can tell you now that that is going to be cooked inside. I know for a fact. I've done a couple now. 3 hours is plenty. Absolute plenty. Great little fire pit. The Ol Mate Firepit from top End Campgear. Great little fire pit, guys. And next time you see this and I'm doing a rotisserie, there's a fair chance I'll have the Oz spit over the top. But for a little fire pit, I've got another one in there, the flat out fire pit. That's great for the backyard as well. Probably almost twice as big as this one. That one in there is just way too big to go camping. This one here is still in, you could still take this camping. It folds down flat. It's got a bit of weight to it, guys. I'll put all the stuff up at the end, the dimensions and the weight and that, so that you know. But this one is in, you can take this camping. The flat out fire pit I've got there, that's just for the backyard. That is way too heavy and too big to take camping. This one is, you know, when it's folded down in the bag, a little bit of weight, yeah, but it's manageable. I'd put a couple of bricks, you can put a couple of bricks, a couple of bits of wood under the ashtray there, and the good thing about this fire pit is it's not going to scorch the grass, guys. And if you just put a couple of bits of 4x2 underneath or a couple of bricks or whatever, get that up there, it's not going to scorch the grass because of how high it is off the ground, and you've got the base tray. So absolutely fantastic there. A lot of fire pits and that. You see some people, they start a fire. Most people just start a fire on the ground and burn a big hole in the ground. This isn't going to do that. It's a good little size, big enough for the backyard, small enough to take camping. Greg, if you're watching, mate, thank you so much for sending this to me. As I said, I didn't expect it, but there'll be some more. You'll be seeing this. Winter time, or we don't really get winter up here, but the cooler weather is not too far away. You're going to see more of this fire pit, everyone. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the cook up. I tell you what, if you could smell that, it does smell good. Yeah, there's some crunchy bits on the outside. I like that stuff. I really do. It's going to be cooked inside. That's the main thing. Catch you later. Be good to each other. We'll see you again soon, eh? Get on there. topendcampgear.com.au. Their barbecue plates, great little item, and their fire pits, and they've got some other stuff on there too. So get out, check the website out. Greg supported me for the Christmas giveaway. He provided me with a barbecue plate, and as I said, guys, anyone who comes on and supports my charities, the least I can do is support their business. Absolutely fantastic. See you later.